Hello everyone, I'm back. My name is Emily Gear. I am a multidimensional channel and transformative energy healer. And after a bit of an absence, I am back to do your weekly energy reading. Okay, so this is the week of May 5th. The week of May 5th for the next 7 days. So this is a tarot reading. I do also channel the messages, so it is also a channeling. I read the cards intuitively according to the channeling that I receive. I want to thank all of you who have followed and subscribed and shared and commented. I love talking to you guys in the comments. It's one of my favorite things to do, so please do comment. Let me know what you think. Or especially if this resonates with you, I love to hear that. We are almost to 1,000 subscribers. So when we hit 1,000, I will be doing some giveaways. So just keep that in mind. Not sure what it's going to be yet, but there will be something. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and shuffle these cards and just sort of ask for what kind of energies we can expect for this week coming up. So right away, I've got the Death card popping out with the 5 of Wands and the 6 of Wands. And so this is the Botticelli, Golden Botticelli deck, by the way, if you're wondering. So what I'm immediately feeling from this is a real... I do kind of feel like there's some sort of transition in a struggle that you've been having. It can be with other people. It can be within yourself. So there's some kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Resolution that you come to, which I believe feels like a win-win situation with the 6 of Wands coming up. Normally it's either recognition or a victory, but I feel like there's some kind of win-win situation going on here. It's almost that it transforms a situation as soon as you are able to recognize there's some kind of incongruous energy going on between you and another person, you and an organization, whatever it is, two entities. And once you recognize that and both recognize that, there is some kind of win-win situation that you're able to come up with. So that is very positive. I'm also feeling like your own personal energy is going through a transition this week, and it may be that situations or energies that were kind of uprooted in you via the new moon, which just took place on the 4th, are kind of being, it's as, okay, so this kind of goes along with the channeled message I posted earlier today. Okay, it's going to be the one that's titled something like Fertile Ground for Manifestations or something like that. It's as if as soon as you notice, as soon as you recognize the conflict within you, those voices that are conflicting and just like causing, the word I'm hearing is strife, but it's not necessarily causing strife. It just might be causing some kind of like internal conflict, some sort of push and pull on your psyche. The moment you recognize them, it immediately transforms that situation. Sorry for my dogs. And that's transformative work that you do when you do that with yourself. When you recognize that the voice of the shadow, and you simply, sometimes in order to clear it, all you need to do is recognize it, okay? If you watch that video, it gives you a little more information on ways that I clear those voices, that I clear those like, that basically that I integrate the shadow. I don't want to necessarily say clear. You're clearing the negative energy by integrating the shadow, if that makes sense. Okay, so there's more of that going on this week, and I do feel that that is also reflected externally with a relationship or situation, okay? Let's see what else is coming up this week. What energies are coming in for us this week? I don't know if I should take that. I didn't see the cards. I think that was just sloppy shuffling. It'll come out again if it's supposed to. Okay, what else what other energies are coming up for us this week? Week starting May 5th, 2019. Or whenever you're seeing this. Sometimes these messages are meant for you whenever you find them. I've heard more than one person tell me that YouTube suggested a video from 3 months ago and it had exactly the advice they needed. So definitely check this out, even if it is not the week of May 5th. Okay, what other energies are coming up for us this week? Well, there's got to be something. Okay, we've got the 9 of Pentacles and the 10 of Pentacles. I'm getting a lot of like cards that are right in order with each other because we had the 5 and the 6 of Wands in this last group. And so I feel like, oh, okay, so this makes total sense because again, I was talking earlier today about the, that there's really fertile space and ground for grounding your manifestations at this time. And this really feels like being able to take it from that kind of short term, made it to, you know, point A type manifestation to taking it all the way to the 10. I'm going to get more information about that before I keep talking. It's like building, so I'm feeling like it's that you can set the groundwork, you can lay the groundwork this week for building a legacy, building an empire or a home or whatever. Knight of Swords is coming up here. So I feel like, you know, in this situation that taking some risks, some calculated risks is what they just said in my head because of the swords. These are calculated risks are going to serve you well this week. So don't just go out there like willy-nilly, but definitely live, well, I shouldn't say live adventurously. People can interpret that a million different ways. But I'm hearing that this is not the week to worry about what everybody else is going to say, okay? The 3 of Wands just popped out. So it's, if you are doing that, you know, it's whatever you put into this is what is going to come back out to you, right? So if you put the kind of energy in where you're anticipating that people are going to criticize and question you, that's potentially what you're going to get out of it. If you're going into this saying like, I'm building the foundation of this legacy, then that's what you're going to be able to get out of it. You've got the 8 of Wands coming up here. So this can come in very quickly. It also can be, so with a lot of times the 8 of Wands, I kind of see as, it's not showing in this card, but in other cards, there's like this big sun and it's like shining down with these wands flying through the air. And it feels a little like there could be some shifting going on based upon the changes in the energy that we're experiencing on Earth at this time. I don't speak about that a lot because I don't know a lot about it. And I am very conflicted when I read scientific accounts versus like, you know, what we in the quote unquote new age community or spiritual community or whatever you want to call it start talking about it. So I'm very, at this time, very guarded about speaking about it, but I will say that they do have an effect on me personally. And I definitely would imagine that you guys are also feeling that. And I usually do experience important energetic clearing at the time, at the times when there are solar flares happening or different portals opening or different, you know, planetary actions going on. So I'm just going to put that out there that I feel like, and I don't know what it is. I don't know what's happening. That's not all. Sometimes I get that information, but that's not really where I'm tapping into now. There are different groups of of guidance that I work with. And so this is more on the healing end. It tends to be extremely high vibrational. Like they don't typically care about anything but what is going to heal you. And so they're kind of showing me that there is this energy coming in that is going to create a very quick change, a very quick healing effect for you. It can also, they're also pointing to this card here and suggesting that it is going to serve in some way this manifestation that you're attempting to create this week, by taking these calculated risks, these leaps of faith, toward building the legacy or beginning the soul mission, or really pushing forward the soul mission, or whatever that is. Okay, it's going to be supported by this energy. There may be some I'm also hearing that there might be some big changes, endings and beginnings. Okay, so I don't want to scare you with that, but just like be aware of that, and that, you know, if that's the case, and that can also be the case here with the Knight of Swords, then it is actually for your highest and best good, because we have the Six of Swords coming up here, which is really all about crossing the water, crossing like out of the choppy water into the smoother water, from one side to the other side. I see it from darkness into light, that kind of thing. And I also feel like, you know, you have this visualization of the ship in the background, which is the traditional visualization with the Six of Swords, but you also have these swords planted in this like garden here. And so I feel like this is part of creating the environment where you're able to really ground this manifestation that you already began. I'm hearing possibly in April. Some of you began this in April. It could have been other times, but they're talking about in April. So something that you set in motion then, and really taking steps toward this 10 of Pentacles, this coming full circle, fully to fruition, taking very concrete steps to this highest of goals. So I don't feel necessarily that within this week you're going to accomplish and complete this. I do feel that you're taking critical steps, taking calculated risks toward this, okay, this week. And that it is creating healing in your life and moving you forward to a better place, okay? What else is coming up this week? What time are we on? Oops. Okay. All right. Yeah. So we talked about endings and beginnings. Here's the Tower. The Tower is coming out. So there is something that is really going, and it's coming out with the Ace of Swords. So something critical is going to be coming to light. Okay. Some truth is revealed. You finally understand something. You finally see a way around something. You finally see something. And what it does is it rocks your world. Like good or bad, it rocks your world. Like it changes your perspective so entirely that it breaks down anything that was built on faulty assumptions, untruths, okay? So in many cases, these are relationships that are not stable, that are not serving you. In other cases, these are just situations that were no longer serving you, and you know, you're moving forward into this, you know, into this situation, whatever this is, if this is the life mission or soul mission, if this is the, you know, the important relationship, whatever this is, can even be as simple as like a move to an important area, or the place where you've been wanting to move to, so that you can, you know, manifest your new business or whatever. So there's a lot of new beginning coming up, which makes sense because the first card that popped was a Death card. So don't be shocked if this comes up. It's going to come with a lot of truth, and it could come in really fast with the Knight of Wands showing up. And just know that, you know, the advice here is to move like the Knight of Wands, and that is to not hesitate and also to not overanalyze it. I'm feeling like, say what you want about the Knight of Wands, he's always willing to go on to the next thing, even if, that in some situations can feel like a negative. He is always ready to go and primed. And in this case, he's moving toward the truth. Toward the Ace of Swords. Now, if you feel like you want to run from the truth, more of I don't read reversals, but if you're feeling like you want to run from the truth, just give it a second. Take pause. Do the opposite of the Knight of Wands, because it will only serve you to embrace and run toward the truth, okay? It might be a difficult truth. You might need to take a second, but you certainly don't want to ignore it, because this is what happens when you ignore the truth. Anything faulty is going to fall apart. Anything that's built on untruth is going to fall apart. Anything that's built on inauthenticity is going to fall apart. There's no more room, they're saying, in the process of ascension for those who are ascending at this time, which includes the entire planet, but some are at a more what's the word I'm looking for? It's like the energies are tenser because they're moving forward and forward and forward. Maybe they're not necessarily at the beginning of their journey. But really, for anybody, there's really no more room for inauthenticity. I feel like I've said that before, and that's kind of their message, is like anything that is not authentic, if it has to do with relationships, a job, the way that you're presenting yourself to the world, it's got to go. This could be your own facade to the world, or to your family, to your community. That's going to break down, and the truth is going to come out. Okay, and I feel like this is a positive truth, even if it sounds a little scary when I say that. The truth is always, in the end, going to be a healing situation, because you cannot live a lie and be healthy, and be fulfilled and be authentic. Yeah, Ten of Swords. Something is going to be completed. Some cycle is getting completed, and it's a painful cycle, something where you are not living in your truth, or I do feel like for some of you there's a lot of not living in your truth, and everyone does that. So that's not me condemning anyone. For some of you, this is a long, painful process of discovering what the truth is, and it's finally coming to a close. It's finally getting to the point where you can, you see the steps to move out of it, move forward. There's a certain culmination here, a culmination of a difficult situation. And a cycle that's closing. I feel like it goes along well with this Death card, can go along with the Tower card, but I feel like this is something you've known about for a very long time, that like you've known this was ending or coming full circle, and it's I feel a great sense of exhaustion when it comes to looking at this card right now, that you may be very much exhausted and very happy to have the rest and respite of this being finished. Okay, so allow it. That's good how I just dumped water on myself. So if that's your situation, then, allow it if that feels right to you. I can't know everyone's situation. But we've got 3 cards now of endings showing up here. Sorry, I'm sweating. Between the Death card, the Tower, and the Ten of Swords. Okay, what's the advice? What's the advice for this week? Actually, let's do this. What can we look forward to this week? What is going to be great that we do or deal with this week? What can we look forward to this week? Okay. So what's come up is the Four of Pentacles with the Seven of Cups. Super bizarre way to talk about something that we're looking forward to. But what I'm feeling in these cards right now is that we're looking at the end of illusion and hoarding of, I don't really feel like it's money, but I feel like it is a way of hiding one's truth, a way of hiding one's assets. You know, maybe it's possible that you were afraid to shine, afraid to show how you felt, or afraid to tell what you thought, afraid to live your truth, afraid to share your truth. And I really feel like this is an end to that. So we're looking forward to sort of a new level of living in our authenticity and living in truth and not in illusion, because the seven can also be illusion. So we don't want to be living in illusion and hiding ourselves, hiding our gifts, hiding our abilities. I'm really feeling like this is a week where we begin to and really can make some big steps in manifesting life purpose, manifesting your own personal gifts, whether that's like abilities or whether that is simply laying the groundwork for a practical application of any of those things, right? So take advantage of that. I feel that it's predicated on allowing these old cycles to end and all this old stuff to fall away, because they are part of the illusion. They're part of the hiding and the hoarding that we're breaking out of now. We're going into the authenticity, the better space, you know, the calmer waters. Wherever my 10 of Pentacles went, we're building the legacy now, okay? So, and it's moving quickly as long as we take advantage of this energy, you know? Okay, let's get some quick advice. Okay, I'm going to get another one to go with that, because what the hell? Clarify, please. Okay, so the card, I was like, what the hell? It's the Nine of Swords came out here. My initial thought was that we need to, again, with the calculated risks, you know, we cannot get ourselves so like super caught up in the anxiety of the change, the anxiety of the swift motion forward with this Eight of Wands back here earlier in the reading. We've got the Two of Swords coming up with the Empress and the King of Wands. So I do feel like this is kind of about the anxiety of moving forward, the anxiety of taking those steps, like, you know, somehow by being your authentic self, by leaving behind the illusions, by allowing your assets or your gifts to, or your truth to show, by showing that off, you're leaving a part of yourself behind. You're leaving the inauthentic part behind, and leaving parts of your life behind. Like, there are people who you might be afraid are not going to accept you in your authenticity. If they are truly for you, if they truly love you, they are going to at least eventually accept you. Okay, I can't make it super sugar-coated. It might shock some people, whatever it is, you know. But the people who are meant to be in your life will be in your life, and the people who are not will fall away, whether you make the choice or not eventually, you know what I mean? So what we have coming up here finally is, again, the Empress with the King of Wands. And I feel like this is that fertile growth I keep talking about in this period. And it's all about manifestation right now, of which this king is a master of. And so this is also the card for Taurus. I feel like this is a really, actually it's not the card for Taurus, but sometimes it's the card for Virgo, but sometimes I associate it with Taurus for some reason, maybe because it's the springtime. It can be Taurus or Virgo, but anyway, my point being that we're entering into this time of being able to truly use it to our advantage, to plant our seeds in fertile ground, to grow this legacy, to grow this 10 of Pentacles here in the physical world. Everything has to do with the physical world. And it's so important to ground, I'm hearing right now, to ground it through your physical body. So let's say you're putting out some kind of affirmation or setting an intention. Draw that energy in through your crown chakra, all the way down, all of your chakras, out the bottom of your feet and into the earth. Send it into the center of the earth and just feel the expanse that happens when you do that. I know I sound batshit right now, but I'm telling you, like, this is a thing. When you do it, you will probably feel it if you're sensitive to energy. But if you're not, just intend that it's going into the earth so that it can then grow up from the fertile spring soil into the summer, mature in the summer, mature by the fall, you know? So there is a lot, and this goes for anything, whether we're talking relationships or talking money, finances, talking jobs, or just any kind of manifestation, okay? I'm going to end it there for you guys this week. Look soon for me to be doing extendeds on Vimeo, including Divine Complement readings and aka Twin Flames and other things. So it's coming. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate all of you. Let me know what you thought, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.